Hey guys, it's a beautiful Central Florida day. It's 79 degrees out. It's overcast, so there's not too much sun. It's a cool day, nice day to go for a ride. Anyway, I didn't come to brag about how beautiful the weather is in Florida. I came to talk to you guys about something that one of my coworkers brought to my attention. And as I'm getting a lot of new viewers, I'm realizing that they're seeing a lot of my recent stuff, but they're not seeing the old story, the story that I've been on for over 2 years now, from where I started and how I got here. It's not that difficult. The reason I keep posting videos is because I want to continue to give motivation and support to people who are trying this new way of living and realizing that they can make a change in their life. It's not as difficult as it might seem. There are parts of it that are difficult, but it doesn't have anything to do with deciding what to do for yourself. The part of what you're gonna do is the easy part. The hard part is mostly other people. But for those of you just joining in on my channel, you guys have got to go back and see where I was 2 years ago. I was just a regular guy doing a regular job. I was under a lot of pressure, in charge of a retirement home. That pressure got to me. I think the stress was a big part of it, the huge part of it. The largest part of it was my diet. I was eating what I could when I could, you know, reheating stuff, cooking stuff at home. My wife would make pastas and various things. I ate a lot of hamburgers. Hardee's was my good friend. And I tried to avoid eating bread, and I tried to cut back as much as I could, but I always wound up having comfort foods when I needed something to calm me down a little bit or get over some rough anxiety periods. Just trying to deal with life. Food becomes like a drug in a lot of ways. The medicines I was taking weren't helping any, I'm sure. Those were all things I was doing to supposedly regulate my stress and deal with some of these problems, you know, to find an escape from them and relax. I kept thinking, I need to get up and do some exercise sometime. But I gotta say, every time I tried to get up and exercise, it was just, there wasn't enough time in the day. That was my usual excuse. Or I didn't have the energy, or both. And I found out that nutrition changed all of it. Simply changing what I eat. I found out about Lion Diet. And Lion Diet is very, very simple. Although it can be very difficult for people to stick with because it's kind of monotonous. It's the same thing almost all the time. But when the same thing is a delicious steak most every day, in 2 years and 2+ months of doing this, I have not gotten tired of eating steak. So all I can say is if you get tired of eating steak, you're pretty damn spoiled. Yeah, it would be nice to have some variety and things like that, but I wouldn't trade all the energy and the body transformation and the mind transformation that I've had thanks to changing my nutrition. All I eat is ruminant meat, water, and salt. First question people ask when I say ruminant meat is, ruminant what? Ruminant animals, meat from ruminant animals. So what we're talking about for the most part, at least in the United States, what you're gonna find in the stores is beef and lamb. There are a number of ruminant animals, but many of them are game animals and some of them are exotic animals from other countries. And I know that people see my videos all around the world, so if you've got some better choices available in your grocery store, please chime in the comments and let me know what's out there. Let me know what you're seeing, because I like to be able to share that with other people in your countries as well, to let them know what they can find. But I'm not familiar with much of what's on the shelf in other countries. I have traveled some, but in the United States, it's mostly beef and lamb is what you're gonna find. And the first thing that I hear after that is, well, red meat is bad for you. All I can say is if red meat is bad for you, then I want the worst, because I feel the best. I look better than I ever have. I feel better than I ever have. I'm 50 years old. I'm out here riding bikes and running and exercising. I played a kickball game the other day at the company get-together, but I was out there hard charging, man. It felt good. It felt good to have the kind of energy to participate in something like that. But that wasn't the kind of thing I could do before. And the only thing I eat is red meat. And it's the only thing I've had for 26+ months. So if it's so bad for you, why am I not dying? Why am I not having problems? Why am I not having problems that my doctor says you need to cut out the red meat? I just went and saw my doctor yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I had blood drawn today. So I have a new blood work video coming out soon. I'll be glad to share that with you just as soon as I get it. Is everything gonna be perfect? Probably not. Never is. Never has been. But it's been better. It's been better ever since I started this diet. My doctor doesn't have any complaints. Nothing is perfect. We're all humans. We're all slowly dying. The question is, what's our quality of life like while we're on our path? Is your quality of life miserable? Do you have gut pain? That's what I had. Gut pain so bad sometimes that I would wind up in the hospital not knowing how I got there because I passed out from the pain. I get there and the doctors look at me like I'm making this up. I'll never forget, the doctor came in after I spent a whole night in the hospital screaming in pain all night. He came in and looked at me and said, "Mr. Ferrigno, what do you want us to do for you?" I mean, he may as well have just come in and hit me in the head with a baseball bat as to ask that dumb question. I said, "Doc, you're a doctor. I want you to fix the problem." He says, "Well, we can't find a problem. We don't know what's wrong with you." And you know, to watch the news and to watch TV shows and popular culture, you'd think we live in the age of Star Trek with all these commercials about how medicine's done this and that and the other. And they can't even figure out what's going on with a gut problem. And I'm not the only one. I have lots of people that have contacted me that have said the same exact thing. Doctors do not have a clue. And the reason they don't have a clue is there's no medicine to treat it. That's all they know how to do anymore is prescribe medicine. And medicine does not solve most problems. And if it does solve problems, they're not going to make that medicine because it's not going to keep making them money. If they heal you, they can't keep making money off of you. Unfortunately, that's the way the drug companies and the socialist politicians we have set this system up to be designed to just turn people into a meat grinder. All we do is pour medicine down their gut, killing them slower and draining their pockets at the same time. Sure, there's plenty of people that work in medicine who have a good heart, who want to help people. But what they find out when they get there is they're not being trained how to help people. They're being trained how to prescribe drugs. They're being trained how to cut things out of people because they don't work. But they're not being trained to fix anything. And good doctors are starting to wake up and ask these questions. But you know what? If you change the nutrition in your life, you don't need doctors as much. The only reason I went to my doctor is so that I could get blood drawn, so that I could come back and share my story with you guys, because I constantly get asked questions about blood work. I don't have a reason to go see the doctor. I don't have any problems. I used to have problems. I used to have problems that required me to go every 3 months. And if I didn't go every 3 months, they'd stop giving me the drugs I needed to not have my problems, which I always still had somehow. But now, since I only eat ruminant meat, water, and salt, I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have anxiety. I don't have the problems that I had before that made me need a doctor to prescribe drugs. It's a much better way to live, and you can live it too. I encourage any of you who are starting this diet for the first time or want to know about it, watch my very first video, 125 Days on Lion Diet. You can do a channel search with my channel name, Ferrigno Freedom, and 125 Days on Lion Diet. It'll be the first video to pop up in your search. Or you can go to my playlist. I have a number of playlists on my channel. There you can watch the one that's about my journey. And I've put most of the videos that deal directly with what I've done on this diet right on that playlist. In addition to that, you could check out my 2-year Carniversary video. That's Carniversary, Carniversary. And that'll give you a good synopsis of what I've been through to get down this road. KetoCon 2023. It's gonna be in Austin, Texas. And yours truly is gonna be there on the Saturday event. If I get enough people that get tickets using my code, that they will set something up for a little meet and greet type of situation for me. Check in the description for the link and the code. Not only will it help the opportunity for me to be able to talk to more of you, but you'll also save $50 on your own tickets. And look for Saturday to be the day to have a chance to get together with me. Still, even when I explain it as simple as that, ruminant meat, water, and salt, people say, well, what does that mean? Do you eat fruit? Do you eat No, I don't eat anything else. I don't eat fruit, I don't eat vegetables, I don't eat bread. I don't eat anything except for ruminant meat, water, and salt. After a year and a half, I started trying a few things, bringing some things back in. You can add some things back later on. But don't think about that if you're going to try to start this. Think about getting off of the wheel of pain that you've been living in by changing the way you think about food. Decide now that you're not going to reward yourself, quote, reward yourself with comfort food, because you're not rewarding yourself. You'd be surprised when you start to learn about what's in the ingredients in most everything we eat. We're simply putting ourselves in a cycle of catch-22. The food causes the pain that causes us to seek the food for comfort. It's like methamphetamine. It keeps destroying you, but it makes you feel so good when you take it, you just keep coming back. Well, once you break the cycle, you'll find that they've had a spell over you. These food companies and the drug companies have literally had a spell on you. And ever since I've broken free from that spell, I have had such freedom in my life. I've had my youth back. I don't watch commercials and feel like I have a desire to go buy whatever it is they're telling me about to eat now, whatever fast food garbage, whatever thing Dairy Queen is doing. All of that stuff holds no sway over me anymore. And unlike diets in the past where I tried fruit and vegetables or whatever else, salads and things, where I was constantly hungry, trying not to eat the things I shouldn't eat, supposedly. And I would always fail because I would be hungry all the time. And eventually I would go on a binge and eat a bunch of bad stuff. And then I would feel so bad after that, I would kind of give up. And then eventually the diet would just stop. But when you eat meat only, you'd be surprised how satiated you are, how you don't have hunger all the time. So it helps you to get through your day without thinking about food and snacks and treats. Now, initially, you're going to have to break free from the drug that is sugar. And it is a difficult drug to kick. It's going to be calling you back for a while. But if you stick with it, if you cut out all that stuff, you can get your health back. You can have the healing in your body that you've been searching for. And as a nice side effect, I'm 100 pounds lighter than I was when I started this diet. So I feel better, I look better, my wife's a heck of a lot happier. My life is better because of Lion Diet, and your life could be too. For those of you who don't think you can kick sodas, trust me, you can kick sodas. You just got to start looking at the stuff that's in those sodas as the poison that it is. I mean, I have a number of videos talking about the ingredients in foods, but of all things, high fructose corn syrup has got to be at the top of the list of some of the worst stuff you could put in your body. I don't want to go into all the details on all that right now, but just trust me. When you start to recognize that what you're putting in your body is poison, and you go around asking yourself, why do I feel miserable all the time? Why do I ache? Why do I want to eat this garbage? Why can't I break this cycle? You've just got to make the choice that you're going to do something different for your health. And this is it. This was it for me. And ever since I started, my plan was to do it for 6 weeks. And here I've been doing it for 26 plus months. And I don't plan on changing. I love it. I love the new me. I love my new life. And I want you to love your life too. So again, what do I eat? This is the question that I still get even after I explain all of that. What do I eat? I eat hamburger meat. I eat steaks. I eat roasts. I eat venison. I eat lamb chops. I eat rack of lamb. I mean, whatever ruminant animal I can get my hands on. And I cook it all with beautiful Redmond salt. I'm not gonna make this into a Redmond commercial, but Redmond is the only salt I'll buy, and there's a link in the description if you want to find out about it. But salt is a key to the diet because you need the electrolytes. At least it has been for me. I know some people don't need the salt so much, but I'm going to tell you, when I started, I had high blood pressure. I have salt with everything I eat and everything I drink, and I don't have high blood pressure anymore. I just had my blood pressure taken yesterday at the doctor, and my blood pressure is always a little high when I go to the doctor because I can't stand going to the doctor. It was 138/78 though. My blood pressure used to run well over 140 even with medication. So everything's still normal, and I have salt all the time. I'm just trying to help those folks that are finding my channel for the first time. And I've had so many people tell me, I still don't get it. I see you cooking all this stuff, but I don't get it. This is it. This part that I'm doing with what I'm cooking That's what I eat all the time. All the time. And you say, well, how can you afford to eat that way? One, I never eat out. If I do eat out, it's only for this channel or because I'm on vacation. And that saves a ton of money. So I'm always making my own food. I never throw any food away. We used to throw tons of food away back when we used to buy a bunch of garbage because it would always go bad in the refrigerator. I never have anything left over when I'm done cooking. So there's no reason to throw anything out. There's no reason for anything to sit in the refrigerator until it gets covered in fuzz. I never buy junk food at the convenience stores and gas stations that I stop at. I used to always stop and buy a soda and maybe some chips or a candy bar or something like that whenever I would stop and get gas, because I deserved a little treat to make my body feel worse. I don't spend that ridiculously high price on all those things anymore. When I used to buy a 16-ounce Coke I'd buy, 3 liters of club soda for the same price and have it at home or bring it with me when I go out. And if you're just drinking spring water or even tap water, you're even cheaper than that. I add salt to my water because it adds the electrolytes I need. And I like the flavor, to be honest with you. I don't like the flavor of table salt, but Redmond salt, oh my God, it's natural. It's good salt. It's like when you get splashed with a wave at the ocean and you lick it off your lips and you're like, wow, that's not bad. That's what it's like every time I have a drink. But it's that simple. It's really that simple. Then people ask me, yeah, but you exercised. Believe me, I've been wanting to exercise all along, but now the diet actually gave me the energy to exercise. And somehow, when I had the energy, I found the time, because I stopped playing video games. I stopped doing all the stuff that I used to do as time wasters, because I enjoy life now. It's so much better to just enjoy life and take part in the real thing, rather than to have something to make the time go by. Somebody I was talking to the other day was talking about how he likes his iPhone games because it helps to pass the time. Man, we only got so much time. What you trying to pass it for? We got plenty to do. There's plenty of life to be lived. So get out there and start living it. Break free from the chains that have got you. Start doing something good for you. Try Lion Diet if nothing else has worked. And if not, look into some of the other carnivore options out there. There are a lot of other YouTubers out there that are sharing their information on carnivore living. But all I can say is when I stick to Lion Diet, I feel better than I ever have in my life. That's what I'm here to share. And I'm thankful to hear from all of you who have had your life changed by the same. And if you've had your life changed because of something you found out here, please let me know in the comments. And maybe someday soon, you and I can do a carnivore conversation and share it on my channel here so that we can encourage other people to do these things that are going to make their lives better. If we all felt a little bit better, we might have a little bit more love in the world. At least, that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?